Hey there, Bourbon Street Joe here. This is going to be my first ever ration review, hopefully many more to come. This video is probably going to be a little longer than ones in the future. I just want to give you a bit of background of myself, discuss the setup a little bit, how things might run a little differently than other ration viewers. As for myself, I served in the Canadian Army Reserves in the Canadian Scottish Regiment from 1992 to 1996, so 4 years. I was in the infantry, so basically just a grunt. Humped everything in, had more than a few IMPs, which is the ration I'm going to start this series with. Just as a quick one, this is actually the headdress, our combat headdress for the Canadian Scottish Regiment. That is our cat badge. The poppy is for November 11th here in Canada. It's the only day I ever wear this headdress, and that is for Remembrance Day here in Canada. And this is just the for Happy Canada Day, and if I didn't mention that already, Happy Canada Day to my fellow reviewers who are Canadian, CT, Smitty, B Temple, LC. Anybody else that I don't mention, I do apologize for that. I've been in the community a while, but sometimes names escape me. Anyway, this is the shoulder flash off the uniform, and anybody, namely CT and Smitty, who've met me know that I do have that tattooed on my left arm in the approximate position it's supposed to be on the uniform. So yeah, anyway, I was a grunt for 4 years. Again, I'm going to do things a little differently. When I met CT and Smitty, Smitty was kind enough to give me this tray. I'm not going to be using a tray at all, which is, again, going to be a little different than other ration reviews. I'm going to be using this. Now this is 82 pattern webbing, which was invented in 1982. So it's pretty old. Anyway, I'm going to be using issue mess tins. Now, having said that, they were never issued to me. We never used these. And this actually is not a mess tin pouch per se. This is a C9 gunner's pouch. So C9 in Canadian service would be the M249 SAW in American service, or the FN Mini-Me in British and or Belgian service. Anyway, this pouch connects onto your webbing here. This is actually for your H harness, your suspenders. So this belt here, this clips onto your H harness. What you do is your ammo box is in here. It's 200 rounds of belted 5.56 link. It's 4 ball, 1 tracer. And anyway, it's in here. You run dry on your weapon. You pull the tab. There's Velcro on either side. You yank that up. There's a handy dandy little strap here. You pull the strap up, which yanks out your ammo box. You pull that out. And it's just, like I said, I give a little info here and there. So, so you would carry 2 of these, one on either side. And you would carry another box on the C9 as well. So you're looking at 600 rounds, excuse me, a 5.56 link. But anyway, it also doubles as a mess tin pouch. Now, having said that, again, this was never issued to me. It's not hard to figure out, obviously. 1 and 2. So that's what we're going to be eating out of. These are aluminum, and I will get into the hazards of eating out of aluminum tins later on in the video. Yeah, so whatever's going to go in there, mains, sides, desserts, etc. We've also got, and this was issue, this is a Melmac mug. I'm using that for hot beverage. Now, I couldn't find a yellow one, but this is, again, kind of an issue. It's a Melmac glass. Obviously, got our canteen cup. This is also a canteen stove, so if you're going to use it, you just invert it there. Your oxygen is going to flow in through this side, but you poke your fuel tabs in through there. If any rations I review come with a stove, an SBIT or foldable stove and heater tabs, I do have a brick over here. It's a spare from my wood stove, so it is a fireproof brick. We'll be setting the stoves up on that. I won't be using them to heat the rations. Off camera here to my right, I do have a single burner Coleman propane stove, boiling water, so I'll be heating the rations up in that. When I was in the reserves, we had a 2-murder version of that. It ran on, we called it white gas. I think it was naphtha, so it was, about that size. Had 2 burners. You fueled it, pumped it up, and then you lit it, and you had the 2 burners going. One was a pot of water for your hot brew, so coffee, tea, apple cider beverage. And on one occasion, when we were exercising between Christmas and New Year's, hot fruit punch beverage base, because we couldn't find tea or coffee and we needed something hot and tasted like citron. And anyway, your second burner would be your pot of water to heat up the rations for your section, which would be 8-man. In an American squad, that would be 10 to 11, depending on the service. But again, coffee, hot beverage, and second one for pouches, because you did not want to make your beverages out of the water from the pouches, because that was, again, aluminum, not healthy. Anyway, so yeah, this one over there. So I will be using, not in this video, but again, the folding stoves, I'll be using it to simply boil a cup of water, just to see how long it takes. I know the French issue rations have the stove, they got the heater tabs, they got the little thing that clips onto your can, so you can cook it. The Russian ones, cook it over. And I'm not going to be doing that, simply because we never did that. And tactically, if you come under fire or something and everybody's all bent over a stove, hunkered down trying to warm something up, everything's going to go sideways. And good luck finding your stove, your ration, your mess kit. It's just... Anyway, we're also going to be using this. Now, I know most rations come with a utensil of some sort. This indeed was issued to me back in the day, not this particular set. This is 82 pattern webbing, so it just kind of goes through your belt. This is what is known as a KFS, which is a knife, a fork, and a spoon, KFS. This has, as you can tell, a hollow handle, so everything just kind of nestles in here. So that's what we're going to be using to stir things, eat, everything else. And this is a C5 issue knife. It was issued to everybody. It's got a blade, as you can tell. This usually a bit of paracord, and you would lash this to yourself so that if you dropped it, you wouldn't lose it. This is a bottle opener screwdriver, and this one is a can opener, which is kind of odd because they never issued anything in cans, but Okay. This also has an awl, so you can poke holes in things. So you could poke holes in a leather belt if you need to cinch it up or whatever. It was issued. It was never really used. I mean, everybody else. I mean, most of the guys in my unit carried knives anyway, of a more serviceable type. Anyway, so I've got hot water and thermos on standby. Cold water for drinks or what have you. I'll be pouring out of an issue canteen. Now, you might be able to hear that. There's a bit of a bubble in there, but that's the way we carried them. You would literally fill them till they were overflowing, and then you'd drop the top end and screw it down. Everything that makes noise is bad, so no noise is good. You'll notice, just as an aside, it's got a little weird sort of top on it. Now, the reason that is there is for one of these. Now, this is an issue C4 gas mask. So this is, I believe, still currently issued to the Canadian military. So that's the canister where you breathe through. That's where your voice badly comes through. This canister this attachment, you can switch the canister to your other side if you're a lefty or righty. But that couples with that. So you'll notice on the back here, there's a little tube that's kind of stowed away here, and it's got kind of a nipple on it here. And if you look in here, I don't know if you can see that well, this little object here is a drinking tube. So when you're wearing this in an NBC, nuclear, biological, chemical environment, you need to drink water still. So how do you do that? With this, which is a C4 and a more modern one, it's going to be a lot easier than this, which is a C3 issue mask. Now, the canister goes on here. You'll notice there's no provision for a right-handed, left-handed swap on this. And if you look in this mask, there's no, there's no drinking tube. So with this, you literally have to pull it off your face. You'd be wearing a decontamination mitt. You gotta decontaminate that. Actually, you would unscrew it, decontaminate it, because you don't want to get any chemicals or nerve agents, biological hazards or anything on there. Do your face quickly, drink, and then you'd have to redo that procedure, put the mask on, clear the mask, and then you can see where that's going. It's not very easy. This one, you stay in the mask, you pop that, you would then pop that. You have to decontaminate this. You have to decontaminate that. You then put that in there till it connects. You can invert this, and then with your tongue you grab the little drinking tube that's in there, and then that's how you drink. And again, all you have to do is decontaminate both ends. You're good to go. Eating, well, that's a bit of a nightmare, but you can imagine how uncomfortable it is in that kind of a toxic environment. Anyway, we should probably just get started. So today I'm going to be reviewing a Canadian IMP, which is, as you can see, a 2019, so it's fairly fresh. This is menu number 4, which is sausage and hash browns. So military ration, not for resale, and yet here we are with a military ration. QR code on the back, like us on Facebook. The packaging now is different, as I'm sure most of you know, because there are reviews out there now. It's more of a plastic pouch. It has sort of a dog bone tear on it. It's resealable. This instead is more of a metallicized, like a foil lined paper bag. So it's kind of, I've heard other people reminisce, it's more like a lunch bag kind of thing. It's like inside, and again, everybody's seen this, there's cardboard boxes that hold your main, that hold your dessert. This is a little more sturdy, and will keep everything kind of together more. However, this is not, like, if you're going out for 5-day exercise, you don't take 3 of these per day times 5 days. So you don't hump 15 of these in a rucksack. That's just not how things were done. So we would strip these down, take out what you don't like, because certain people don't like certain things. If you like tea but you don't like coffee, then you're probably not going to use the coffee. So if you don't like it, why carry it? That's going to be another difference that I'm going to have from other reviewers is, of course, got our wonderful scale here, and we can weigh the ration. If this turns on, there we go. So we'll do it in grams. For our friends south of the border there, we'll do it in pounds as well. But the thing is, we will weigh it. And again, this is just something that I sort of thought would be interesting. So we're going to weigh it before we open it. So as you can tell, this is 828 grams, or here we go. Hold on. $828 grams, or 1 pound, 13.2 ounces. Now, after we have our meal, I'm going to pull up the scale again. I'm going to throw all the garbage back in here, and then we're going to weigh it again. And that, again, is just sort of a different perspective as a soldier, and a former soldier, and as somebody who has to hump this in and then out of the field. So how much garbage is this going to generate out of that 828 grams? And again, what do you do with that? We always had to take it with us. It's sort of to foil intelligence gathering by whoever it is that's belligerent. If you're going to start leaving this around, well, anybody that picks it up, there you go, it's a maple leaf. So there's Canadians around. They are also going to figure out, okay, well, they've got food. So they're probably going to have fairly good morale because they're eating. If you're cold, tired, wet, hungry, haven't slept, and you're obviously not going to have the same kind of response as if you're well rested, you're fed. They find your cigarette butts. So if you have creature comforts, you're gonna have a much better morale, much higher morale than you would if you didn't. So yeah, probably enough babbling about non-ration related stuff. I know everybody usually brings out their super huge folding knives. I'm also a little wary about YouTube and pointy objects, so instead of that, we'll just pull out our harmless little Alpha Touch knife and open that up. And there you go. So you can see right in there, there's our dessert. You can also see kind of that foil liner that's there. It does make it kind of waterproof, but let me reassure you, if you do take this into the field, it does get wet. It abrades really quickly, and you're going to have holes in this in no time. So again, what we would do is you take a case of rations, you sit your section down, you'd open the box up, dump them out. Everybody would grab what they wanted. You'd sit in a big circle, and everybody tosses what they didn't want into the middle. Just because you didn't want it doesn't mean somebody else doesn't want it. Excuse me. If you're somewhat in the know, you would take a Ziploc, you would grab all the teas, the coffees, the whiteners, the sugars, and you'd throw it in a Ziploc, throw it in the top of your rucksack, and you throw on your first burner in the morning for brew. Hey, you'd ask your section commander, corporal, master corporal, whoever it is, hey, corporal, you want a coffee? And you hand them a coffee. It may not get you out of something, but it may get you in his good books. So that's all right. Anyway, back into this. Back here. Open it up a bit more, a little more accessible. Okay, let's see what we got. First one is, say, sausage and hash browns. So there's your ingredients, nutritional facts, obviously what your meal is. Once again, Canadian. This would be the first thing to go. So you would peel these off, throw the foil pouch in your rucksack, in the cargo pocket of your combats, depending on what it is, where it wants, how accessible you want it. Is it a snack? Do you want to eat it on the move? That sort of thing. Anyway, we got those. And as an aside, and Smitty's probably going to have to help me out on this one. Back when I was in, there was 3 breakfasts. There was a sausage and hash brown. There was a wieners and beans. I think, and my memory fails me, but I'm pretty sure it was mac and cheese. And in my mind, that was pretty darn greasy, and I didn't want it on my stomach first thing in the morning. Wieners and beans, probably not the wisest choice. And you know what beans are going to do to you, and I don't know if you want to be doing that for the rest of the day. And mac and cheese, I mean, it was Day-Glo orange, but I went for a different option. We'll see if I can maybe discuss that with you guys. Sliced peaches, yeah, always good. We had peaches, applesauce, apple slices, pears, and of course, everybody's favorite, the fruit cocktail lottery. See how many cherries are in that. Again, here's your ingredients. Pretty simple: peaches, water, citric acid, and/or ascorbic acid. So just the acids are a stabilizer, right? Got your nutritional info. There is your date, as it is on here. So 19/028. So the 28th day of 2019. This one is going to be your 276th day of 2018. If you're lucky enough to be if you're lucky enough to be CT, you get one made in 2034, which is obviously from the future. Okay, what do we got? Strawberry jam, nice. Always like the jams. Strawberry, raspberry. Back in the day, we had marmalade. That was actually really good. I like the marmalade. And also back in the day, as an aside, of course, we had the fruit. We also had 2 types of, it was a pound cake. And if anybody has seen or experienced the infamous lung in a bag IMPs from back in the day, or the lung in a bag would be the omelet, ham and cheese omelet, or the vomlet in the American MREs. The way it comes out, conforming exactly to the shape of the pouch, that's the way the pound cakes were, or fruit cake, one or the other. But there was a cherry which had like your not maraschino obviously, but your glass cherry, like in a fruit cake cherry, or there was an orange one, and that had again, like a fruit cake, it had your preserved orange peel. I really liked the orange one. The cherry one was kind of sweet, but anyway, that's just me reminiscing, I guess, more than anything else. Okay, what do we got here? We have fruit punch. I'm okay with fruit punch. And again, that's Deadwood Valley in Nanaimo in 93. Hot fruit punch. Yeah, that was, wow. My first exercise, actually. A second fruit punch. Like a little clumping going on in there. Tortillas. Yeah, never had those back in the day. We had two options. The bread, which some of you have seen, some of you have tasted. Loved the bread. It was wonderful stuff. It was about, yay big. And it was like basically a compressed loaf of bread. It was just very dense, kind of flaky, very tasty. The other option was rusks. Anybody that's had, or anybody that is European, like Dutch or Danish, probably Swedish, Norwegian, Scandinavian. You know what a rusk is? It basically looks like a piece of melted toast on steroids. Those things were terrible. You throw them in your ruck and you'd take 2 steps in any given direction and they turned into powder. Like they were absolutely useless for anything. What do we got? Peanut butter. Yeah, good stuff. Everybody, of course, automatically goes to a PB&J on these. This was, Smokey did a review on that Rat Pack ration that I sent him that was kind of mixed, and it had the tube. That was the two things back in the day that were in tubes. It was honey and peanut butter. A tube of peanut butter was your best friend at about 2 o'clock in the morning when you're doing fire picket or you're up on watch or something like that. A little bit of sugar, some protein. This, plus being absolutely terrified that your section commander would find you sleeping, this would help keep you awake. It's good stuff. What else we got here? Nescafe, sweet and creamy. It's a 3-in-1 coffee. Yeah. So back in the day, it was sugar, whitener, coffee, obviously, package. More stuff to carry. I get why they've gone to this. And back in the day, I was I took my coffee, or how we referred to it as NATO standard, 1-1, so 1 cream, 1 sugar. I have since, probably within the last 2 years, I guess, gone to drinking just black coffee. I drink a specific brand, which I'll probably mention later on in a different video, but I love it, and it was suggested just black, and actually that's one of the flavor or the types of it is referred to as just black. That's the labeling on it, and yeah, I prefer black coffee now, but anyway, Tabasco, brand name, obviously. Back in the day, it was hot sauce or hot pepper sauce. It was one or the other, but it was just a generic, kind of a vinegar based, same as that. Not a big deal. Wild Berry Crunch cereal. Now, so back in the day, it was more of a, I think it was either oatmeal or granola. No, it was oatmeal. Crunchy cereal. No, it was crunchy cereal. But anyway, you get the idea. It is a granola kind of thing. So I would take this, and I would, it works best with applesauce if you can get it. And I'd have them heat up the applesauce in the pouch. And then I would toss this into the applesauce, mix it up. So here's your list of ingredients, right? You've got, and I think Smokey just did this ration on the live stream the other day, didn't he? But anyway, so you take this, so you're looking at your, 210 calories. You throw that into your hot applesauce, mix it up. You eat that. You've got your carbs. You've got your sugars. You're good to go, and you're not belly full of grease, flatulent for the rest of the day, or full of Kraft Dinner mac and cheese kind of thing. Vanilla drink mix. Never had these back in the day. This was not a thing. you know, I can see, you know, this, it's a protein shake pretty much, right? 180 calories. You got 12 grams of protein, which is, you know, that's pretty good. Mrs. Joe, and if you met her, she has a name, but for this intents and purposes, Mrs. Joe drinks cold brew coffee and the brand of a chocolate protein. So she has her sort of mocha, protein mocha in the morning. Your beverage bags for, beverage bags for hot, cold beverage. Here's your fill line sports drink or coffee, right? It's like 8 ounces, I think, or 250 mils up here in the Great White North. What's we got here? Tic Tacs. I'm older. I'm getting used to it. I'm not a fan really, but hey, whatever. The Canadian Mint, as everybody calls it. Obviously it's a compressed napkin, add water, out she comes. Matches, white tip, made by, because I know Smokey likes that. Yeah. Pembroke, Ontario, Eddie Match. You can see that there. Might have used them to light the stoves, maybe, back in the day. Didn't use them to... I mean, everybody either had a Zippo or a Bic lighter or something like that. You don't really use them to light cigarettes, even if you're allowed to smoke in the field, which basically a no-no. But, I mean, hey, if peacetime, nobody's going to die from it. And as another further aside to anybody who may or may not be a smoker out there, we used to carry the little, and this goes back to, oh my God, I'm old, the 35 millimeter film canisters for back in the day when cameras took film. You'd take one of those and after you smoked your cigarette, you would field strip it, you'd tear off, crumble the ashes or the tobacco in the wrapper, and then you'd take that filter and shove it into a little film canister. Which stank to high heaven after 3 or 4 days on exercise. But your Canadian issue napkin, Fapkin, right, Smitty? Butt ration. Again, spork. Good spork. Nice spork. Not going to use it because we have our handy dandy KFS. And hey, that's the content. Right, so again, we're gonna save this. Everything's gonna go back in here once we get everything out. And yeah, I'm just gonna turn up the stove here that I've got going to heat up my main. So there's gonna be a little more of a hissing noise in the background here. So we're good there. Okay. Yeah, let's, what else am I gonna do here? Got a few things. So I do have a measuring cup. I'm just a little anal retentive when it comes to measuring stuff and, you know, beverages and that. So we will actually be using this. I know I can use the beverage bag, fill lines. It is gusseted, so that's, you know, that's nice. But again, this is not something new to anybody that's seen any of this kind of stuff before. So let's try to get a little better organized here and start making some stuff up and see what we got. So we got our 3-in-1. So that will try not to get everything absolutely everywhere. There we go. And as everybody knows, it's instant coffee, whitener, sugar, all good to go. 8 ounces of that. So we'll pop the top on our thermos. Get ourselves lined up for 8 ounces of water. Try desperately not to burn ourselves or get water all over everything. Probably fail miserably at both. And I'm just going to do this off camera just in case I spill. Yep, nailed it. Alrighty. So once again, KFS. Get that going. Yeah, that's fairly decent. Well, I got my brain vaguely working here. Again, those of you that have met me, all two of you, iffy at the best of times, pop this out and we'll get this heating up, which is probably something I should have started with. And then again, sausage and hash browns, they are looking at 28th day, 2019. Again, there's your Canadian. Plain unopened pouch in pot of boiling water. Return to water to boil 5 minutes. Remove pouch, open, serve. So they've got a tear notch here. Got a tear notch there. Back in the day, they used to have a tear notch here because that way, if you open it this way, this doesn't have to be that long to get down to there. Whereas if you're going that way. But hey, you know, things change. Get that in the water. Heating up. Okay, that goes. And again, this protective cardboard, they never, everybody calls them heater bags for Canadian IMPs. We were never issued flameless ration heaters, FRHs, back in the day. Again, boiling water, that was things. I don't have Canadian ones. Again, I'm not going to use them anyway, even if they come in the MREs. Well, maybe once or twice, but I mean, you know, boiling water pot, it's fine. But again, this, when we're field stripping, before we go into the field, this goes away, so you don't have to carry it. We have our wonderful dessert here, which, you know what, I'm going to put right there, but I am going to, what am I going to do? Where's my beverage base here? Yeah, that's 250 mils of water. So what I'm going to do is, just because we also have the vanilla drink, and there's two of these, you know what, check that. I'm just going to do one. So I will leave that out. I'll just do the one. Don't need to waste. And hey, shares these later on, right? Somebody can always inherit the leftovers. So that's what we're gonna look like. Little clumpy Dayglow. Smells like fruit punch. You always get that wonderful cloud. Cold water. And again, I'm doing this off camera just because this is ridiculously full. Probably should have done that in reverse order, because the measuring cup's a little warm. But, well, we shall persevere. And that holds just 8 ounces. Fairly well. Nasty color. And yeah, you can tell there's sugar in there, but from what I remember, from what I've seen, and from what I've experienced, you know, it takes a while for the sugar to dissolve, but the MRE ones are nasty compared to Canadian ones. The fruit punch especially, will it just does that weird clump thing that's, anyway. Yeah, fruit punch. I mean, that's kind of a Gatorade-y kind of a taste to it. Anyway, oh, right, the vanilla. I should probably do that one next. And that gussets. Spread bottom of pouch, add cold water to line, zip, and shake the living bejesus out of it. Which is something we can do. Now, as I've seen people, you gotta gusset it first. Right. Again, there's your cloud of powder coming off the top. You want to fold that. And trust me, I've seen enough ration reviews. I would never have been that smart in the day. Or apparently one of these that smart right now because I'm just getting protein powder everywhere. Yeah, I would have probably just eyeballed it and gotten it horribly wrong. I believe it's supposed to be like 8 ounces of water or something, so we'll go with that. I'm sure in later videos I will actually do this on camera, and that way it'll be recorded for posterity, me spilling things everywhere. Try to get it. Enough, but we can stir through the chunks. That's not a big deal. Yeah, yeah, it's a little chunky. Hey, you know what? It's fine. Pour that out. Let's see if we can get a good view of. That ain't bad. A couple chunks, but. Yeah, a little bit in the corners, but I mean, hey, that's nothing perfect, right? Oops. Toss that in there. Yeah, she's pretty good. A couple little chunks, but not bad. All right, let's get these peaches out here. The tortillas, yeah, PB&J, I guess. Seem kind of an odd addition to anything that's not a Tex-Mex kind of a base, but hey, whatever. Again, that's gonna go in there. 276th day, 2018. Peaches. Here we go. Do not eat if pouch is damaged. Really? Yeah. Well, duh. And what do I got going on there? Oh yeah, love me some peaches. Again, a few of the community members know I just actually 2 weeks ago I was in Georgia. Mrs. Joe had a bit of a bucket list going on, and she wanted to see Tears for Fears in concert because they had a very large influence on her earlier life and start of her educational career. So I had me some Georgia peaches, and they were pretty good. Yeah, standard Del Monte, great value peaches, right? I mean, nothing too different there. So we got the main heating up still. Ah, yes, the wild berry syrup. And this is why I have multiple canteen cups, as he rapidly runs out of everything. So we're looking at, yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, that smells a little bit of sugar in there, obviously, but can smell the berries. So borrow our other canteen if I can do this without, there we are, making a mess. Another cup. There she goes, and I think it's supposed to be water to taste. Yeah, I can do a bit of cold water in there. Again, depending on the ambient temperature or how you felt in the morning, whether you want hot or cold in there is your choice. Just fish that out for half a sec here. I'm sure it's got milk. Yeah, milk powder in there. So, hey, that's fine. Thankfully, I've never experienced an older ration where the more veteran reviewers would be like, yeah, you can smell the milk's really gone off in that. Ugh, yeah. That's going to be kind of nasty, but that's what she's looking like, you know. Not bad. Definitely a vibrant purple color there, but that's all your dehydrated berries. I wouldn't go any more liquid than that. I mean, that's maybe a couple ounces. But, you know, oats are going to be crunchy, and you're going to have enough liquid to wash that down with, as CT would say. Yeah, looks pretty good. Tortillas, yeah, why not? 340th day of 2018. It's getting close to, it'll be close to my birthday, actually. There's your nutritional information. Again, product of USA, but it's got English and French on it because, yeah, welcome to Canada. Tear notch on these puppies is, tear notch on these things. No, that'll work. These I have not warmed up. They're probably going to tear in half because that's what they do. We have our do not eat. And there's a little giggle about that, sort of. So back in the day, anything that had a desiccant pouch in it had the word poison on it, which is Poison. Unfortunately, fish in French is poisson. That's got an extra S in it. Yeah, you can see where that went horribly wrong sometimes. But these are fairly pliable. Hey, that ain't bad at all, really. Huh. I wonder if I should just maybe, probably having tacos tomorrow night. I wonder if I should just save these. We'll go all in on this one, hey? Yeah, why not? Strawberry jam. And again, guys, I realize I'm about 48 minutes into this. I'll try to speed it up. I'll try to drop it down to maybe 20, 25 minutes. But again, this is me kind of rambling, relating. Just kind of a who and what about me. Sorry. Did that manage to breach? Negative, no breach. Okay. Take a corner off. There we go. And I will get it all out, but I will just put it on one here. Just so again, we can weigh our garbage at the end of this, and we can try to keep it as close as we can to what an empty MRE is going to generate, right? Nice looking jam. I like the strawberry, I like the raspberry. They're both good. I know I'm probably kind of weird to me. PB&J is always grape jelly. It's just something I've always had as a kid. And it was just PB&J. It was peanut butter and jelly, but it was grape jelly. It was never anything else. There we go. So we'll just, yeah, get that sucker over there. Put this other one aside with our other sports drink. We've all seen these work before. Don't need to bother with that. Again, Tic Tacs. Again, terrible side note. Yeah, replace Chiclets. And I actually just recently played Chiclets against Smitty. So the box of Chiclets with your 2 little Chiclets, there was a number on one flap, and you open the flap, and whoever had the higher number won the other guy's Chiclets. It was just, trust me, when you're bored, anything will do. Let's get this main out here. I think she's toasty. Ouch. Yeah, that's warm. Hey. Need it up a bit here. Just get the heat evenly distributed. And because we're just going to dump her out on our tray, we'll go for the top notch. Yeah, that's what she's looking like. Sausage and hash browns. All right. So other than our brief taste test of a few drinks here, let's go. Let's see where she's at. Of course, I have a fly in here. Perfect. Well, let's solidify it a little bit. Take her off camera here and take a bite. I can see why you would go with hot water on that as well. I don't mind the chew. I actually kind of like it. It's good. Wouldn't go with any more liquid. I'm not one of those guys that likes a big bowl of, there we go, close up of that, big bowl of milk to drink afterwards. Okay, this fly is going to be my first guest, I guess. Just so you know, if you hear a horrible clacking noise, that is my jaw. That just happens when I eat. Yeah, coffee's good. Like that. For sure. Protein powder. Quick stir. It's got that foamy head on it that I know Smokey says he doesn't like. Oh, that's all right. Yeah, so that definitely does have a foamy texture to it. It's not as tasty as Carnation Instant Breakfast Meal Replacement, but it's all right. It's got a decent vanilla taste to it. Nothing like super strong. Oh, I'm just gonna have to cleanse my palate though a bit. Tortilla. PB&J. It's PB&J. Peanut butter's a little thirst-provoking, but, well, not bad. Oh, hot fruit punch flashback. Yep. I know I did that cold, but yeah, that's Yeah, it's like neocitrin. Oh, oh my. Okay. Toss that over there. Sausage and hash browns. Yeah, nice chunks of sausage there. Potatoes aren't really firm, but considering the meal's 3 years old, and yeah, what do you want, right? Got a chunk of sausage there. Yeah, it's breakfast sausage. Yeah, it's not bad. I've had worse from like retail grocery stores. Chunk of potato. Yeah, that's not the best texture, but cold, tired, hungry, and wet is a great motivator to liven up the old taste buds, let me tell you. Tabasco, a little runny. Yep, vinegar. Little kick to her. As another useless aside and a nobody cares moment, Mrs. Joe and I actually went to Avery Island, where they make Tabasco sauce in Louisiana 13 years ago. A little bit of both there. Yeah, that kicks it up. Might not be something you want for breakfast, but yeah, Tabasco. I mean, army travels on its stomach, right? Depending how sensitive your stomach is. Again, could be greasy, could be too spicy. You get a belly full of beans, that kind of thing. Bounce over to our peaches. Nice slice. It's got some body to it. I can feel that. Just spearing it there. Yep, they're good. They're not as firm as a canned peach. They're pretty good. Yeah, all in all, not bad for a first review, I guess. Now that I've dithered enough and explained kind of what my layout is, yeah, we're just going to go through the final step, as it were. Get this out of the way a bit here, sort of centralize that. Get the old scale out again. See if I can remember which buttons to push in which order and actually get this right for a change. Where are you? There we go. Get her into grams. And obviously, we still have the matches. Didn't use all the Tabasco sauce. We had one tortilla. So there's going to be obviously some gram difference here. But out of 828 grams, that's coming in as 165. So honestly, I mean, so I don't dirty it up here too much. Beverage bag, napkin. Might keep the spork, but let's just throw her on top anyway. 187. So you know what? You're probably pushing like 200 grams, over 200 grams, which is going to be garbage. So out of 828, you're running like a quarter of that's garbage. And again, you're humping everything. So, 828 times 3. So you're humping 2 kilos, 5 pounds a day. And that's just in the rations themselves, right? And then you've got to let garbage to tromp around with afterwards. But yeah, anyway, Oh, might as well add as well. Yes, Bourbon Street Joe is my handle. I have been Bourbon Street Joe at somemail.com since the internet was pretty much invented. The NOLA added on to the YouTube is New Orleans, Louisiana, just because Bourbon Street Joe was already taken. But I, like CTB Temple, Smitty, I'm Canadian. I'm actually born in Winnipeg, which is CT's town right now. I am not Cajun. I have been to New Orleans. I've been to Louisiana, but I'm not American. And Joe is not my name. So if you see me in the live stream or somebody's live stream and you want to call me Mike, that is my name. I have no problem with that. I've been, as CT made fun of in his last video, I've been Mike, Richard, Joe. But anyway, Bourbon Street Joe here. Signing off. So hope you liked the review, and again, happy Canada Day. Bye, everybody.